Hello, people. I wanted to do a video on the virus situation, and I have been reflecting and doing research, and it seems to me that it seems that I have to say the word conspiracy, um, and it's probably not the right word, but it's something that's making me feel I should be paying attention to because there's something that's not right. And I know other people are waking up to the same understanding. Uh, there is something not right about this virus and the whole thing. Now, if you're a scientist, or a detective, you draw your information. If anything, you don't really do anything. You just set. Um, let's just say that you've got your storyboard. You set your understanding that you just have to let things ride, but be aware that you need an answer. You've got to have an answer. So you just let things ride, and you see things, and you feel things, and you reflect. And as a scientist, I suppose, as a natural scientist, that's what I do. I can see that something is not right about this virus. I mean, I myself and other people, have drawn the conclusion that so it's something, isn't it? That there, no, great, that's brilliant. I just lost my thread there. But you get my point, people. On reflection, there is something going on. There's something that's not right about this. So I see, yeah, that's right. As a natural scientist, as reflecting on the evidence I have, there are too many variables pointing in the direction that it feels like there's a conspiracy. It feels like something else is going on. You don't have test centres empty. You don't have hospital wards and A&Es virtually quiet in a pandemic. It doesn't make sense. There are so many other things that are not, um, you know, adding up, as one might say. So I guess when you're faced with the true horror that something else is going on, you have to investigate that. And that, to me, that's the hard thing, because this is where I find that this is the true front line of what's really going on here. Because to me, it's no mistake, and that was the point I think I was trying to make before Lloyds Bank kindly interrupted me that I might be overdrawn. Cheers, it's not that's enough to put anybody off in it. But yeah, the reflection on what we're doing and how we're seeing things, and things not adding up, it's just, and so then you have to take into account that, you've got to just think, well, okay, then France was kicking off, Hong Kong was kicking off, South America was kicking off, and now we've got Lebanon and other countries kicking off, and you know, um, that's another thing I find that I'm abusing in a way. Um, some guy got killed in Lebanon, and you know that's tragic. And I'm thinking about the freedom that we have in this country, and what we really can do with it, and the freedom that third world countries and other more extreme right wing right wing countries are more stringent in Europe. But Depends on how you balance it up, really, I suppose. At the end of the day, people's lives are being lost out there, and there's something not right. And this virus did not start, as far as I can see. Um, you know, it's not a coincidence, people. And I know that's my view, and I know a lot of other people have that view that going back, if you keep looking back, on the events of how this started, to me, it's quite obvious that something else is going on. And like I said, it doesn't add up. You've got your hospital wards empty, you've got your doctors, your nurses, your physicians coming out and saying there's something not right here, something that, about the whole disease. I've been doing my homework on what the virus actually does, and I must admit, should probably go into more depth of what this virus does, what kind of virus it is, and how it works. But as far as I can tell, the advent of 5G and the mysterious behavior of this so-called virus are connected. There are a few variables which you have to sort of reach out and grab in and pull back and think, right, okay, is this a possibility? And I think it might be, people, because the oxygenation of your cells, I've seen these engineers come out and say that the 5G radiation is totally different to the 4G and 3G radiation that they use in the microwave power thing. I haven't, quite done my homework. I'm not a microwave engineer. So yeah, you know, oxygenation is what I'm thinking. The hemoglobin, the red blood cell, platelet blood cell that flows through your bloodstream, or is your bloodstream, the oxygenation of, um, you know, I find it, it's, I just say I've had a few experiences myself. I had an illness for 26 years. It was an ulcerous bowel condition that I had removed, and it made me feel like shit. It made me feel like I had cancer, really. So I had to walk around with this monkey on my back for 26 years. It's not very nice. It's, I think other people that have suffered from things like diseases, cancers, debilitating diseases. This was a real bad defect in my bowel, which is causing me to feel really ill, like I had cancer. Really, it's not very nice at all. But I got through, and I suppose it's made me stronger in other ways. And in other ways, it's taught me to, I had 2.5 foot of my bowel removed. That's how I recovered. That's what it was. It's just diseased bit of bowel that was really making my life hell and giving me infections and made me feel like shit all the time. But there was something else. There's some sort of lack of oxygenation in the bloodstream or something. I'm not sure, but it was a special kind of exhaustion. Which I've talked to people that have had cancer, and they've said, "How do you know?" That's exactly the way I felt. It's a debilitating way to feel. It was horrible. I guess it was. I don't know. It was just horrible, and I was glad to get through it. And it was 26 years of pain and suffering, and 2.5 foot of my bowel at the end of it, and all the hell that you have to go through with losing parts of your bowel and stuff. It's so you learn a bit about the body and how it works, and how your intestines, and it's beautiful. And it's all sorts of things that goes on in your bowel, and it really is your garden that makes what you are, and you should take care of it. And you learn about it, about flora, good bacteria, and vitamins and minerals, and how it's keeps you alive and going, because that's your boiler, people. That's your garden. Keep it together, because it will fall into, and it will make you feel like, yeah. So getting back to the subject, I have realised that perhaps they have concocted something that can, let's just say, zap the oxygen from inside of you in your blood cell, perhaps with G5. I know it's out there. I know it's crazy, but it's the perfect weapon, isn't it, people? you know, there are so many ways, there are so many angles on this, isn't there? It's so many ways you could play it. You know, I don't think it's any coincidence recently that the is it somebody managed to delete um, 13 to 15,000 files on criminals. It's been deleted. That don't just happen. Somebody's just been paid. Somebody's just been done a favor for somebody else, and you thinking this, you can feel the rocks moving in the system, and the cogs moving, and some other strange thing going on that you don't really see until the advent of a First or a Second World War, or something that's rocking the boat to the point where things are so different you can't quite, it's it's frightening, because I don't like it. I walk through the street and I see a police car and it frightens me. I think, fuck off, because I'm going to kick off, mate. You don't come up to me and say you have the right to arrest me without reading my rights and explaining the reason why you are doing it on probable cause to that fact, because I will deck you. Somebody's playing a game here, and I'm not playing it, and I am not being treated like that police officer. Okay? And I don't think anybody else has the right to be treated like that. Yes, this is a virus, Yes, it's a mild pandemic, perhaps, and that's as far as I'm prepared to go to say that's what it is. And the way that this country and this world has prepared for it stinks, because you take care of the sick, the elderly, and the young, the vulnerable. You concentrate all your effort on those areas and let the rest of the world get on with its life. Keep industry going and back up the fact we have to take care of this problem. There's something wrong, people. Somebody's playing a game. We're being played. Right, okay. I just wanted to get a few points across on this virus and how I feel about it, because I'm not, and I know other people are feeling and thinking the same thing, playing into your hands here. I'm not having it. It's a disgrace. My grandparents would not have it, and I will not. Cheers, people. Keep fighting.